Alright, we walk these lonely streets again. I'm starting to get used to going out in the middle of the night. Of course, there were some places that everyone told me to watch out for, but they were only dangerous compared to the heights. Maybe it was because I was a former police officer, but I wasn't afraid. My steps along the deserted road were surprisingly light. Yeah, but when you were a police officer, you had a sword, and you are currently swordless, lady. Okay. Alright, she hears me. Fine. If only I had my sword, I wouldn't have to fear anything. The best weapon I could manage was a scrap of wood I found discarded on the side of the road. Okay, I gotta give my girl more credit. I keep discounting her, and she keeps calling me out on my nonsense. She's got a weapon, that's good, okay. I must have looked absurdly suspicious to anyone watching, but it was still better than nothing. I kept reassuring myself of that fact as I made my way toward the hound's facility. I had thought and thought, and after all that thinking, this was what I came up with. To conduct reconnaissance on their headquarters. For what purpose? My goal was to extract Finn. Okay. I just said I was going to stop discounting you, so I'm going to let you continue. I just have one question. Where are you going to take him after the extraction? Because you haven't really talked about Libra Elitis or anything in this world, so it's not like, and we're going to leave the Sanctuary District and go. Unless that's the plan. Continue. And in order to do that, I had to familiarize myself with the compound. Most residents of the Sanctuary District probably want to stay as far away from the Hound's facility as possible. The Hounds must realize that too, because they hardly have any security outside. It should be even less guarded now than during the daytime, too. I was still several minutes away when I detected a faint burning smell on a warm breeze. Suddenly, my body was on high alert. Oh no, did the hounds that were having the going away party, did they get a little carried away and set the whole thing on fire? My heart began pounding and my stomach twisted up in knots, but I wouldn't be stopped. As it just so happened, the breeze was coming from the direction of the hounds. No, it can't be. It can be. As soon as I arrived at the facility, I knew something was wrong. The building seemed to be bathed in light, but a closer look revealed the source. Although it wasn't visible from the front, there was a fire raging inside. Several of the hounds had come running out of the facility just a few moments earlier, as if to drive that point home. Some vanished into the Sanctuary District, while others stood and watched in silent shock. None of them paid me any attention. What on earth? Using the chaos as cover, I watched the events unfold. I wanted to know what had happened, but I wasn't about to get myself involved. What's the best way to figure out what's going on? Oh! A lone man in my line of sight caught my attention. He stood motionless, seeming perfectly calm. Finn!
Oh, Cyrus. Wait, what are you doing here?
I was scouting out the place so I could rescue you. What on earth happened? Tell me, Finn.
The fire. It started in the dormitories. Within a few minutes, the whole building was in flames. At least, that's what I heard.
He spoke haltingly, like he was having trouble finding the words. He must have been in shock. Or did you set the blaze? I gave a small nod of acknowledgement before turning my gaze back toward the building. Is anyone hurt? What about firefighters? Wait, should we focus on getting survivors out first? I was in a panic, but Finn just looked at me, his eyes strangely distant.
Why do you care? You're not part of the Hound, Cyrus.
So? I can't just stand by and do nothing. I don't want to be the sort of person who doesn't help people just because I don't agree with them.
Even if it's Brandenburg. The man who broke me.
Finn's tone of voice suddenly dropped, like it had been shoved off a cliff. His expression went blank, as if he were possessed. Finn.
I think Brandenburg was the target of the fire. He's the only one left in there. The others got out already. I was in my room, but some of my colleagues helped me escape before the fire spread.
Hounds? Helping? Other hounds? In this economy? Interesting.
I don't know who's responsible, and I don't care. It serves the bastard right.
A smile slowly spread across Finn's lips as reality seemed to catch up to him. He put his hand over his mouth and started giggling. Oh boy, we've lost him again. The contours of his face looked ominous in the glow of the flames.
I've been drowning in an endless nightmare from the moment I was assigned here. I was taught to be a killer. I was taught lots of things. How to prolong torture. How to kill swiftly and silently. Killing makes the nightmare stop, at least for a little while. You get food, you get praise. But before long, you're right back at it. You kill because you want it to end. Hesitation is pointless, and failing to follow orders only makes things worse. I ended lives like they were nothing.
Finn.
Once something is broken, it can never go back to how it was. No matter how beautifully it's restored, the damage can't be undone. The pain burns forever beneath the scars. Is it really necessary to help the person who made me this way?
Sachsen. I'm sorry, Finn. This is a betrayal of the highest order, but he's my boo. I'm gonna go help him. I feel like for your good ending, I also have to help him, though. I don't think being like, yeah, you're right, he's a piece of crap who deserves to die is going to do anything good for your mental state. So I'm just going to throw that out there right now. Even so, I want to help him. I realized how horrible it must have sounded. Sachsen, the man who had robbed Finn of his humanity. Finn detested him. Still, we can't just sweep things under the rug. We have to hold him accountable, following proper procedures.
I understand.
His response was completely flat, and it made me wince. Really? Was Finn really okay with this? How could he be? I expected him to be outraged.
But I'll go alone.
Finn,
You're not an officer of the Hounds like I am, Cyrus. I can come and go as I please, and I know the facility's layout. Do you remember where you got off the lift? It should be safe there. Wait for me at the platform.
But... Finn! Oh gosh. Oh, my heart breaks. It's like he resigned himself to her choice and was just like, I still love her though. I'm gonna make sure she's safe. I'm gonna do this for her. Oh, I'm gutted. He disappeared into the facility without waiting for me to respond. All that remained was the roar of the flames on the wind and the voices of onlookers. Finn! I'll wait for you. I had wanted to follow him, but all I could do now was leave it in his hands. I prayed for his safety as I turned and disappeared into the darkness. I had faith that I was on the right path. Me too, girl. That's big on Cyrus's part, too. Being like, because she always would run straight ahead, be like, Finn can't handle it, but she put her full trust in the boy. Love to see it.
I can't believe I went back. The flames were so deafening that I couldn't hear myself breathe. Smoke and heat hung in the air, choking me. I looked up to see that fire redder than blood had engulfed the top floor of the dormitories. I think I can still get inside at least. The sound of collapsing wood echoed through the night. I couldn't afford to be careless. I took a few deep breaths to clear my head before rushing into the building. My life was at stake too. I didn't have a moment to lose.
All the place has seen better days.
I thought the fire had been hot outside, but it was nothing compared to the inferno inside the building. I held my arm over my mouth to keep from inhaling smoke. Just getting there is going to be a challenge. Surrounded by flames, I could hear a faint groan coming from somewhere. At first I thought it was just my footsteps, but then a cry for help pierced the air. I don't care. I'm not here for that.
Dang. He's like, I have one target. Nobody else matters.
I resolved myself to keep going, just as their pleas turned to screams. The cries were drowned out by the sound of an explosion, and then stopped. The smoke stung my eyes. I couldn't breathe. I wondered what sins had earned me a place in this hell. Even as I stared death in the face, I felt as if it didn't concern me.
Oh boy. It's really going now.
Maybe over there. The corridor was lined with flames that littered the ceiling, and scorched debris littered the floor. The smell of smoke clawed at my nostrils, while searing heat engulfed my eyes. In the light of the blaze, I saw a beam wedged against the door, holding it shut. Flames crawled up the charred surface of the wood. This fire had unmistakably been set on purpose, with the intent of killing someone.
Okay, so that implies it was not you. So unless Glissade rose from the grave and was like, I'm going to burn this place to the ground.
Somehow I managed to get closer to the door as more flaming debris fell at my feet. I tried to pry the beam away using my sword sheath, but it wouldn't budge. It's no use. I grasped the burning beam with both hands and used the full weight of my body to pull it away. Ignoring the pain, I threw open the door and finally stepped inside. Where are you?
Where is that man?
Hands aching, I scanned the room, breathing heavily. It was in shambles amidst a dense cloud of smoke. There's no one here. Was this all for nothing? Clutching my blistered hands, I was just about to turn back when I heard something. Gah. That voice. Ash fell from the ceiling like snowflakes. Flames illuminated the dark room, and the scorching hot air made it impossible to breathe. There was Brandenburg, collapsed on the floor. His arm was pinned by rubble, and he couldn't move.
Oh, we get to see you now.
You.
Okay, that's interesting. Now we can see Finn. So are we seeing this from Sachsen's perspective? But we didn't get the fate of Black, so I gotta assume this is still Finn's perspective.
There was pain and frustration on his blood-stained face. What are you doing here? Come to laugh at me in my final moments? You stupid dog. I'm afraid you're beyond rescuing. Funny. I was just thinking the same thing. I was surprised that you came, though. Well, what's your plan? This isn't some suicide pact, is it? I don't think we're that close. Who would ever make a suicide pact with you? Gah. I gripped my sword with both hands and brought it down swiftly. I could feel the crunch of bone being cleaved through the blade's grip. The sound was drowned out by the thunderous roar of the flames.
Oh, did you, like, cut his arm off?
Get up. You should be able to move now.
Cut off his arm! Holy crap! Which arm? The sword fighting? I guess is the one that was, pinned, but still, I'm like, oh. I mean, I guess it's better to be alive than have one arm, but damn, he didn't hesitate.
You cut off my arm. You're a madman. It's better than dying here, isn't it? I aimed for the joint. It should be a clean cut. You're going to stand out in those clothes. Take off your jacket and get out of here. Cyrus is waiting at the lift platform. Cyrus? That's right. She's the one who begged me to save you. That's why I'm here. So, your loyalty to your former master is stronger than your grudge against me. Aren't you coming too? It will raise questions if there's no body to recover, won't it? Besides, I don't think I can control myself around you. I don't want her to see me like that.
Finn, no! You can control yourself. I've seen it in other routes. I know you can. Don't die here. This is not what I wanted at all.
This is as far as I go. This is where I die. You... Hurry up and get out of here before I change my mind! I really want to kill you right now. I can't bear the thought of letting you live. Burning to death is too good for you. I could kill you 1,000 different ways, and it still wouldn't be enough. Think of that when you remember who saved you. This is my resolve. For the last time, get out of here! You took my arm. Don't expect a thank you. I'd refuse it if you tried.
Damn. Why are you guys so edgy?
You barely made it out in time. The ceiling collapsed just as Brandenburg crossed the threshold, blocking the exit. I had no intention of leaving, but seeing my escape route cut off still crushed my spirits. Who was I kidding with all that resolve talk?
Ah, I was like, don't you dare show a CG of him just like dying in here. Why would you do that to me? I don't need to see this. I feel so bad.
My weakness was laid bare amidst the inferno. Finding a chair that was just barely holding together, I sat down and hung my head. Both my body and my perch would soon be engulfed by flames. I did what I needed to do. I saved Brandenburg. I don't have any unfinished business. And even if I did, there's nothing I can do about it now. A tear rolled down my left cheek and fell from my face. It evaporated from the heat before it even hit the floor.
You sure you have unfinished business? Are you really sure about that?
My lungs were filling with black soot. My consciousness was fading. I couldn't feel the heat anymore, or the pain. The approaching footsteps of death echoed in my skull along with the sound of the collapsing building. I sensed I had reached my limit. It was over. All I could do was wait for the flames to swallow me up. I wish I could have told you in person. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too, Finn.
This is it for me. Goodbye, Cyrus.
Now you getting me all emotional over here. Man. Oh. Oh, Finn. That guy gets me emotional all the freaking time. Oh, man. Ugh. I wanted a Sachsen route, but at what cost? It costed me everything. Finn. I waited, but no one ever came. In the distance was an eerie red glow. The hound's facility was still burning. It felt like another world, far removed from the one I knew. It was surreal. Was it a mistake to let him go alone? We probably should have gone with this time. I already knew the answer. Still, I couldn't help but wonder. I was painfully aware that the past couldn't be changed. I heard the faint sound of a horse approaching from the direction of the hound's facility. My heart started to beat faster the closer it came. Was Finn a good rider?
She's like, wait a minute.
We had both learned how to ride when we were police officers, but it was nothing more than a formality. A holdover from a bygone era. In fact, there were only a handful of people I knew who could actually ride well. I don't think Finn was ever that good. Maybe it's someone else. I quietly hid myself behind a pillar and peeked out. I was gonna make a Mithros pillar joke, but Mithros has the same voice as Finn, and then I got sad, and so now I'm not making the joke. I'm just gonna tell you that I thought about it, and then I'm like, my heart broke again, so I'm like, nope, never mind. The horse began to slow, then stopped right in front of the station. That doesn't look like Finn. I had to squint in the darkness. It was hard to see clearly.
Girl, are you there?
This guy, nearly burned to death, lost an arm, saved by someone who hated his guts, and it's just like, are you there, girl? I can't with him.
Are you there, girl?
That's Sachsen's voice. Feeling a mix of shock and relief, I rushed toward him, almost tripping over myself in the process. Damn. The smell of blood and smoke that clung to him pierced my nostrils. The rescue mission had been a success! My chest swelled with joy, but then I realized something wasn't right. Where's Finn? He went into the fire to save you. Why isn't he here?
Oof, that's a bloody jacket. He's dead.
What?
The fire spread too fast. He didn't make it. The whole dormitory building collapsed just as I was getting out. There was nothing I could do.
Finn is... It's my fault. If
you hadn't had that idiotic idea to try and save me, he would still be alive. Yes, you're the reason why.
Thanks, that makes me feel a lot better.
But still, the final decision was his. If he ended up dying because of it, that's on him.
What's wrong?
My arm. I left it with him as a parting gift.
I had been watching his face so intently, trying to read his expressions, that I hadn't even noticed. One of his sleeves was stained bright red, and it dangled unnaturally.
It was a desperate measure, but... well, I suppose it's only a matter of time now.
You need immediate medical attention.
From who? The doctor is dead.
His calm voice was a harsh dose of reality. I pictured Glissad's face. If only he were still alive, things might have gone differently. Oh, girl. If he were still alive, you would be dead right now. We would not be having this conversation. I can't believe... Cyrus. Okay, I know it's been stressful. You just found out your best friend died, your partner died, your boo almost died, arm got chopped off, currently in the process of dying. So I get, like, there's been a lot that's been going on in the last little bit. But I hate that line so much about, like, if only Glissad were alive, just like, no. No, there was no use in thinking that way. We have a much better doctor if you get on the frickin' horse and ride to my husband out in his cute little cottage with lizards and things. You can still do this. If Finn hadn't done what he did, I wouldn't be alive right now. If anyone should have faith in his decision, it was me. Damn straight. Thank you. I'm so glad you came to that realization. I started this whole thing with like, I gotta give you credit. I gotta give you credit. Then I keep being like, what are you doing? And then you're like, I'm sorry. I take it back. I rescind. My heart can't take this, Cyrus.
There are no hospitals in the Sanctuary District. What can we do? Oh, of course!
I could ask Adage. It would take too long to get to him on foot, but with a horse... Get on the horse, Sachsen. Go on, get. Get on the horse, Sachsen.
Huh?
I know a doctor here. We're going to see him.
Where?
It's too difficult to give directions. Don't worry, I'll handle the reins. I said, pushing Sachsen up onto the creature. I like to imagine she's just like, got her foot basically on his butt and just like kicking him, like, get up there. I'm taking over. Hang on to my waist, we ride.
Are you any good at horseback riding?
Not really. His face twisted at my response.
Try not to sound so confident.
Shut up. We're in a race against time here, so be quiet and do as I say. I'm not about to let you die like this. Come on. When you have two riders, I'm pretty sure the one in back controls the horse. Is that how that works? I always thought it was the one in the front. I'm not actually sure about that now. I climbed on behind Sachsen and gripped the reins. Okay. Okay, this might be my new favorite CG, honestly. It's very rare that you get a CG like this, like zoomed out, you know? Because usually it would be, whoops, gesturing wildly again. Usually it would be kind of cropped here, you know? But I kind of like the aspect ratio of this, how zoomed out we are. We raced through the darkness of the Sanctuary District in the dead of night. You're too big. I can hardly see anything. Phrasing, Cyrus.
You're the one who's too small.
Phrasing, Sachsen.
Are you sure this is a good idea?
We'll be fine.
I'm suddenly having a hard time believing you.
Sachsen continued complaining about my inexperience, even as I was rushing to save his life. He kept up a steady stream of helpful beginner's tips about horseback riding. You guys work great together.
Try to relax and move in time with the horse.
We're fine. I'll manage somehow.
We'll see about that. Skill and knowledge are the most important things. People like you and Ines are always trying to brute force your way through situations.
True. No lies were told. I pushed the horse onward, keeping my focus on the unpaved road. My chest was tight with stress and worry that we might be spotted by the hounds, but eventually we made it to Adage's house. We're here.
Oh, you're the worst rider I've ever met.
Sachsen's face was pale, but at least he was feeling well enough to make snide comments. There's a light on. Adage! Are you there? Adage! The door slowly opened, and Adage appeared in the threshold. His eyes were sleepy. My knocking must have woken him up.
What are you doing here at this hour?
Thank goodness. Adage, please help.
Help with what?
He looked the two of us over as he tried to understand. Then he suddenly grasped the situation and threw the door open, shoving us inside. Thank you.
You, get on the table. Hurry.
How bad is it?
I don't care. If asking questions could treat wounds, we wouldn't need doctors. You're distracting me. Take that blanket and wait outside.
Okay. Please help Sachsen.
Don't get your hopes up. I'll just do what I can.